All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Wednesday Live. Hope everybody's doing good. Today we are weaving on the subject that we presented last week, which was receiving your intrinsic fire. And today I was inspired to continue in that sense and ask you the question, are you operating from your mind or are you operating from your inner knowing, which is another word, your intuition? So maybe some of you are on my email list and you've received a few emails on that subject already, but I wanted to do a live because it's pretty much in the air right now. And I want everybody here to, build another layer of trust towards their inner knowing and towards the natural impulse of life that is actually always guiding you. So what do I mean by intuition and by inner knowing? It's not something that the intellect can understand. It's something that the body feels. So when we are knowing something, we feel ignited, we feel empowered, we feel in our energy, and there's a motion that pushes us forward in the sense that it dictates a certain action that we either choose to take because we are propelled to take it, and it's not an impulse, it's a direction. It's like you go there, and sometimes it's very strong, sometimes it's in the form of intuitive flair, but it's always kind of clear, and there's a clear distinction between what the inner knowing is and what the intellect and the mind wants and how it controls. So I was also inspired to share this subject with you because I was driving just 2 days ago. And as I was driving, I was just deeply inquiring. I was like, what are the next steps? What is needed to share? What are my next platforms going to be about? Because I don't tend to prepare in advance what it's about. I tend to follow intuitively what it's about. And it said it's about healing the masculine. That's the shift. So yes, we are in a woman container, but we are both ingrained with feminine and masculine. I'm pretty sure you've heard me say this before, but the masculine inside of us seems to be wanting to be addressed and healed and put attention on, so we can flourish more in our feminine. This was also the subject of last week's live. So as I was driving, I felt the difference between where my mind wanted to take me and actually where the intuition was clear. So I had a choice point at that moment. I was like, do I keep on going with what I thought, or do I receive? And I'm very committed to that path, so I chose to receive. And by receiving this, it became clear that I needed to readjust. I needed to readjust my life. I needed to readjust my way of speaking, of sharing to people. And I needed to own up to what wanted to be communicated through me, right? So I drove and then I came back here. This is my studio in Montreal. I'm just in transition. Right now I'm going to be on a flight to Costa Rica next week. But I love this space because this is where I have trained and I have practiced for about 10 years. So it really holds depth in here. So the second I was here on my meditation cushion and I started asking those other questions, I really started feeling the split between what my thoughts and where my mind wanted to take me, and where the knowing, like the rawness, the aliveness of the body, what it was actually designed to go towards. And again, if you were on my email list, you read this, and maybe I'll post this same text in the group later on, but it was so flagrant, and I was like, I need to share this information with people. It's so important because I've been speaking with so many people lately, and the fire is so on that it either goes and inflames the brain and the mind, and we try to control even more because the energy is so intense, or we surrender to it and we accept to receive it and start creating with it, which was also my live last week. So what happened at that moment is that I wanted to start creating that next phase, and I could see my mind wanting to create. I was like, no, that's not it. Like, I could feel the pull literally in my brain. It was actually pulling. I work with the body, so when my brain is starting to be too active and I start disconnecting from that impulse, that power, and that energy that's in my body, something is kind of wrong. It's off tune, right? That's one of my symptoms. That's how I navigate. I'm giving you a tip here. So, and meditation was not strong enough, so I just jumped and I started dancing. And every time I was dancing, and that energy was actually making my body move in the way it was supposed to move, and not in the way that I thought it had to move, I was getting an inspiration. I was like, okay, this is what's going to happen. This is going to be the subject of the next free workshop, which I shared about also last week. I'm going to put the details underneath the video, and the link also. It will be in the Facebook group. But it was clearly telling me that my next steps are about helping women. And I'm not going to exclude men in the sense that my platforms are for women, but I'm going to start, if men want to come and join that platform here, I'm going to start welcoming them, because I've received emails from men and they need it. So yes, services or groups are for women, but if men want to be inspired by what we do here, by all means, this is useful, and we are all in this game together. It's called the human game. And men in their power mean women in their power, and vice versa. So just to go back to that impulse. So all the next steps are going to be about receiving our intrinsic fire. How can we own up? How can we first create space in our bodies to receive that fire and to activate ourselves in that fire? So we need that resilience of the body. And then how can we start getting clarity? So clarity is not something that we think about. Many people, I hear many people saying, like, I want to be clear, what are my gifts? What am I supposed to do? And there's like over-analysis and overthinking. And I truly understand. I mean, I have an engineering background, mechanical engineering background. So my analytical part can be very active. But the body has a different type of answer. It dictates. It doesn't really give you the choice. It's like, listen, you want to be freer. You want to feel more alive. You want to own up to what's deeply ingrained in you as desires and as gifts. Then this is kind of the way. That's how it speaks, right? The mind negotiates. It's like, if I go there, then this, pros and cons. And if I go there, this might be the consequences. I did this in the past, so this is kind of projections, right? It's a trap. It is a trap. I mean, if you're in this group and you want to feel that aliveness in the body, you want to be nourished by all this energy inside, by connecting to resources of energies that are always accessible, then by all means, start creating space in your body. Start gaining that clarity around your gifts, which is something that you receive from inside and not something that you think about. Then with those answers, you create what I love calling your authentic playground, meaning that the structures you need will need to be put in place. So this masculine, this drive will start putting structures and creating the change that are required in your lives to start flourishing in those new answers. So you start actualizing your body and starting, being more horizontal and sharing what you're here to share and what is required for you to reset and to be of service with all that has been liberated inside of your body. So this is really what I wanted to share today. We are still in the fire, like last week, receiving your intrinsic fire and operating from your inner knowing rather than from the mind. So next Monday on November 2nd at 9 a.m. Eastern, I'm offering a free workshop, like I mentioned last week. The free workshop is going to be about 1 hour and a half. It's the first time I'm going to give this. It's very intuitive. If you feel the call, jump in. I'll be putting the link underneath the video, and you'll see me probably post on the Facebook group and by email also about the workshop. The workshop is about telling you about the steps on how to activate your body and create space in it to receive your intrinsic fire, how to gain clarity on your gifts, how to create your authentic playground, and how to reset into who you truly are and being of service to others. So it's going to be interactive. We will see how it goes. It's a free workshop. So really, if you feel the call, jump in. It's an opportunity. It will only be live. There will not be a replay for this. And then we weave on this and we continue walking this path all together. So if you have questions, use the thread below, ask the questions. And then if you want to keep on showing up in the group, it was beautiful to see you show up in the group in the last weeks. Beautiful voices, voices of truth, voices of what you're going through in your life, voices of inspiration. This is what we want to see here more and more. It is a sacred space where you can appear and where everybody has its place with their own unique design. All right, the platform it's encrypted with that, right? So feel free, and I will see you soon, and I will see you on Monday. All right, many blessings to all, and let's keep in touch. Bye.